Hello everybody, Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas. Today's video is going to be about a Nextdoor application. I just signed up for there and posted my story. And yesterday's story, which got a whole bunch of traction, a whole bunch of views, a lot of comments, a lot of slander, a lot of attacks from the bad people. But then it got deleted, and so I rewrote a new story today, and I keep getting this message, and I didn't have no idea what they're talking about. Kind replies make a difference. Your reply looks similar to content that's been reported for violating guidelines. Do you want to rephrase it? Okay, and I just kept publishing it, and then you get deleted, and here was a long story. I had no idea. I mean, it was fact based that here this happened. I have proof of this. I have proof of that. I'm gonna show you here in a minute. And I couldn't figure it out, but I finally did figure it out what it was. Okay, and here, let me show you. Here's the Nextdoor application right here, Nextdoor, and here's my post that I did finally got. I got it to go today because I edited it, and so that's what I'm gonna show you. I copied and pasted it or shared it over to Facebook, and that's what I think. I'll just read it from there because this is the same post that's on Nextdoor. And this is the one that was instantly deleted, this post right here. And then I edited it, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. And it's a short read. It says, when I posted this on Nextdoor, I got a message about being unkind, but I don't know how to respond, as I believe that breaking into homes and shooting unsuspecting homeowners is unkind too. I transferred to Midland from Hobbs, New Mexico with hope and excitement as a 25-year company man with DCP Midstream. I bought a home directly behind the Midland Home Depot store at 3802 Faircircle. Mike and Sarah Lawhon had just listed this home for sale, but then Mike died a couple weeks later on October 12, 2008. This was the week before the 2008 oil show started, which I believe is significant. I was told that Mike's death was an accident, but I've since found evidence which has convinced me that he was murdered here and then taken to Fort Worth. He was only 27 years old and had two small boys. In October 2010, my friend from work, Angie McGee Hurley, told me about a young girl that was murdered at a party she was at during the week of the Permian Basin oil show. I knew these parties were close to my home because we would talk on the phone as she drove there. I'm now sure this murder happened in the underground home said to be here by multiple people. In 2013, the remains of a 14 to 21-year-old girl was found outside of Midland, who I've suspected was the girl that was killed at the underground oil show party. There's a Crime Stoppers for this homicide. I made my first call for a burglary a few weeks later when I noticed that somebody had been in my home while I was gone, and I made my second burglary call in January 2011. This was the first time I heard somebody in the attic of my home. I'm now documenting homeowners all over the country reporting these same unique crimes with a dozen addresses here in Midland. Many of these calls were recorded from my police scanner and then posted to social media for proof. This is important information for all citizens of Midland and why I'm posting this on Nextdoor. That's the top application it is. These crimes continued, and a year later I was ambushed and shot by somebody under my home with burglar alarms going off in the attic. Back then all I had was this crazy story, but now there is multiple proof showing that I wasn't shot with my gun, proof of many other homeowners reporting people in the attic, and multiple people documented saying that tunnels and underground homes are near my home. One of them was a recent candidate for sheriff. I secretly recorded one woman who called and said there were 4 3-bedroom $1 million underground homes buried at least 25 foot deep. She said they were having pedophile parties down there. I made this phone call into a YouTube video for proof. Rhonda Denman Rogers told me on Facebook Messenger that an underground home was a half block from my home. Obviously, that is one of the other underground homes. I suspected this was an empty lot around the corner from my home on Whittle Way based on clues found. I took a screenshot of this for proof. Ricky Ronaldo told me that he used to live in my home, and him and his brother used to go in the tunnels under it when they were kids. I took a screenshot of this for proof. A CAD programmer named Layla O'Brien told me that she worked on this underground safe house project. I lost it. Which was completed in 1987 at a budget of $7.35 million. She said they were put in for then Vice President George H.W. Bush. Layla named the company that she worked for on a secretly recorded phone call that I made into a YouTube video for proof. During the election for Midland Sheriff last year, I was on the phone with Sheriff candidate Joe Lozano, and I was telling him my story. Joe said these underground homes was Painter's hideout. That was Sheriff Painter. This was just yet another call that I secretly recorded and made into a video for proof. That is important news for an election, but it was hidden from the voting public by our press. Painter had just died, actually. Tisha Ann Wilkinson Brumley told me on Facebook, I've had friends and been involved in those old show parties. They are exactly what you say. They are underground homes. I took a screenshot of this for proof. Judy Chris Zahora says, I was told that it was a front page news in the newspaper when it's built, but they said it was salt vaults that store surplus oil. But if you talk to the teenagers to help work it, they said it was houses. I took a screenshot of this for proof. In 2019, I showed Homeland Security where I believe a tunnel was located that was going from the Home Depot store to my home. You could see this on old Google Maps from Google Earth. I believe this tunnel was used by the people who went to the underground oil show parties and also by the young girl that was murdered there in 2010. 2 weeks later, the ground was dug up and concrete was poured, but I got this on video. Another woman told me to look at my address on Google Maps, and to my surprise, I see a large building in my backyard on the block screen, which can't be seen on the satellite screen or from above ground. Obviously, this is one of the underground homes where the oil show parties were going on that I believe is connected with the murder of the last homeowner, the murder of the young girl at the 2010 oil show party, and the attempted murder of my life. This picture shows the screenshots from Google Maps, and I encourage everybody to look it up for yourself. It's 3802 Faircircle on maps.google.com. I've tried to stay away from speculation and just state facts here, and this is not all of the evidence that I've collected. I think it's more than enough to warrant an investigation by law enforcement. And then I put this oh, that linked me back up to the picture. Okay, I put this picture right here, okay? This meme right here that I created. And basically what it is, you know, I'm telling everybody, go to maps.google.com, look up my address, and switch between the map screen and the satellite screen. This is the map screen on this side. This is the satellite screen. You do it on your phone or your computer. And when you look it up, you look on the map screen, you see a large bunker in my backyard, okay? That's my home where I was ambushed and shot from. You know, that's where it's believed Mike Lawhon died the week before the 2008 oil show started, and I believe that's where the oil show parties were going on. That's one of the 4 underground homes I was told about. But when you go to the satellite screen, there's nothing there. You can't see it from above ground, okay? But you can see it here on the map screen. So Google Maps has it in their database that there's a large building there, and so I believe that's one of the 4 underground homes that's put in 1987 for the Bush and all that other details, okay? And these are some of the facts here at the bottom. So I'm telling everybody, that was the screen that I put on Nextdoor. Well, as I was saying, it kept getting this, you're being unkind, you know, and then they deleted it, and I couldn't figure out what it is. So here, I'll show you this. I said, I finally figured out why Nextdoor was deleting my post by taking paragraphs out one by one. I would delete a paragraph and then repost it, you know, and then I finally figured out. I said they didn't like that I said the woman on the recorded phone call said they were having pedophile parties in the 4 3-bedroom $1 million underground homes here. I can see how a pedophile might consider that information being made public as unkind. I need to be more sensitive to the feelings of pedophiles on Nextdoor. I was being facetious there, but I thought y'all find that funny. I'll let you listen to that.